Hello, I'm your host, Zach, and welcome to the Miskatonic. This is a game that apparently was created on Kickstarter. I don't know much more except that, and I didn't really pay attention to who made it. But I will put a link in the description where you can buy it and support the creator. Bonjour, wee childrens. My name is Murray Peanut Butter, head of the occult science at the Miskatonic University. Ours is the most prestigious institution of dark magic, the occult, and all the strange ghoulies that live in your peripheral vision. I wasn't trying to change the window. Okay. I'm here today to tell you a story about a little girl that ruined everything. But ruining everything gives you the opportunity to make everything better. Wee. What's that, you ask? Why I have a giant hand sticking out of my head? Well, that's because I am French. Okay? It is a thing we have, so no funny business, You'll learn about the strange things people are afflicted with throughout the story. Okay? After this, you'll think my head is cute. And adorable, as you should. Well, I already think it's kind of cute. But first, let me describe to you the state of the world. Prior to the witch girl that ruined everything, do not fret, you probably know this already, No. So you are aware of the giant aliens that we call gods and the cultists that worship them? No? Then let me tell you. Oh yeah, this is Lovecraft inspired, so she's probably referring to Cthulhu and some of the stuff around that. Some worship Cthulhu, okay. The giant man octopus dragon thing. His cults teach His cults teach eternal patience, waiting for Cthulhu to come back to them so he can destroy the world. Rude. Some worship Yog-Sothoth, the outer dimensional god of knowledge. These smarty brains try to build portals to let him come here, but that would destroy the world too. Not so smart. Most humans, like our witch girl, worship Shub-Niggurath, known as the All-Mother. Even cultists for other gods will pray to Shub-Niggurath at the end of their spells and rituals. That is because Shub-Niggurath is the goddess of humanity. Her cults preach love and compassion among everyone. Very lovely, But like our witch girl, some can be blinded by their desire for harmony. There are some that would take advantage of the naive notion that all humans are loving and good. Not so lovely. Okay, so you know of gods now, So let's talk a small bit about the humans of the world. Some countries have been more affected than others by the strange happenings of the universe. For example, in Canada. Yetis. Thousands of them. But the Canadians are well prepared. Yeti invasions are considered a national pastime. Bring the family, we'll shoot some Yetis. This is what the French call an English person. Note the sharp teeth, purple blush, and big ugly face. A couple decades ago, it was discovered that a huge percentage of the English nobility were actually cannibals, breeding humans in underground caves like livestock. Everyone in England went crazy when it was found out, so now they're all cannibals too. Apparently the Scottish just found it hilarious. This one is also my boyfriend, so no touching his ugly face, These little fellers are called Australians. When the Shoggoths left Antarctica, they came across a big island filled with lovely, delicious humans. But these humans didn't want to be devoured, and even when half dissolved in the Shoggoth bellies, and half were dissolved in the Shoggoth bellies, humans would pinch and kick and smash bottles inside them, making the Shoggoths very uncomfortable. So instead of trying to eat them, the Shoggoths formed this cute little symbiotic relationship with the Australians, granting them immortality in exchange for less punching. So little Shanes and Sheilas can happily booze and barbecue away for all eternity. This is called an American. Note the silly haircut, gigantic bum, and specifically, this is the American that our story revolves around. The little witch girl that ruined everything. How can you tell she's a witch? Why, there are many clues. Example, the pasty skin, a symptom of spending her days asleep and her nights dancing naked in the rain with her coven to conjure strange hexes. Also, this little black choker thing, it's the closest thing to any uniform they get. Also, she doesn't wash. Are you gonna make me look like a dumbass in this story? Oh, are you gonna make me look like a dumbass in this story? Because it was only, like, 20% my fault. Our story begins with our smelly dumbass being briefed on the university's secret protocols, after just being hired as a secretary guard for the occult science building. But on her first assignment, she discovers that not all is as it seemed at the prestigious school. Thanks. Nutsack. Now, Miss Lestrange. I need to change. Now, Mr. Strange, you understand that as a security agent, your off-site assignments are to be kept in the strictest confidence, even from our other members of faculty, especially the students. Uh-huh. You also understand that as a security agent, you'll be in very real danger from both physical harm and mental corruption. You understand that your body is subject to mutation at any point during your employment and residence in Arkham. Rad. And finally, you understand that as a University of Occult Science, you are obliged to assist us with research regarding your supposed magic eyes, and failure to comply will result in your immediate dismissal. Sure. Well then, Miss Lestrange, welcome to the Miskatonic University. Awesome. Ah, you must be the new security guard, Charlotte, right?
Yep, that's me.
Great, I'm Johnny, head of the international... Great, I'm Johnny, head of the Why do I keep wanting to say international? Great, I'm Johnny, head of the internal security. I'll be giving you a tour of the building you'll be patrolling. Then I'll show you to your quarters. Ready to go?
Sure.
Well, you'll be working here in the occult science building. You're a witch, right? Have you dabbled in any occult science?
Well, I'm pretty good at the occult stuff, though mostly I use it for errands and favors for folks. Plus a few hexes, curses, blights, just to keep up that witchy appearance. Blood into jam, bones into sponge cake, cat into mush. Phallus into screaming vestigial face. Normal stuff. Well, we do things a little differently here this way.
Awesome. This is the Ethereum, where our students can perform experiments on the Necronomicon. The creature acts as a shield to the outside world, keeping any experiment sterile and quarantining quarantining any unexpected summonings. Hi! Hello! 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 We didn't know it could do that. Did you try talking to him? You are going to provide some much-needed common sense around here, Charlotte.
I think that is a no.
This building also houses the Corporeum, a surgical theater where our students can perform vivisections and autopsies on otherworldly creatures. Ah, speaking of which, this is Eddie, one of our monster hunters. Thanks to him, our Corporeum professors have been able to gather more information on living horrors than any other time in university history.
The trick is to figure out where its face is, and then commence repeated punching. Who's the new girl?
This is Charlotte Lestrange, a witch from the Chisencook Coven. She'll be working security for this building.
Hi! Looking after us rascals, eh? Well, just give me a clip around the back. Give me a clip around the back of the old head if you see me slacking off, and I'll get back to work. Hey, big stuff. I've been known to whip some ass with my big muscles. There you go. Come round the chop shop. You wanna see what me and the lads been wrangling up the other day? Oh, you wanna see what me and the lads wrangled up the other day? You witches like nightmares, right? Sure, well, the fun ones anyway. Like when your teeth fall out and you smooth them off with sandpaper to make a lovely necklace. Or when you're running down a corridor in slow motion with a bunch of hands coming out of the carpet and grabbing your ankles, and you finally stop to ask them what they want, and it turns out your shoelaces were untied and they were just super concerned for your safety. Or when you're at school and you stand up in class but you forgot your pants and you're embarrassed but everyone compliments your butt. Well, you're a bloody weird one, Charlotte. So, you'll fit right in here. Don't let my sister catch wind of you. She won't leave you alone, you telling stories like that.
Ah, and there's our curator of the Corporeum, Miss Marie Peanut Butter. She used to be a void shaman from Paris before coming to work with us. As fun as satisfying the void is, my true passion lies in discovering how things work, at least when they are dead.
Groovy, what's a void shaman?
You know, those dark thoughts that you have sometimes for seemingly no reason. The ones that tell you to jump at the edge of a cliff, or rob the bank when cashing a paycheck, or drop kick a grandma through a stained glass church window at a funeral.
Oh yeah, I get those all the time.
Well, those are not your thoughts. A few
hundred years ago, the French aristocracy's way of life was so decadent and whim-filled, their unbridled sauciness only went and summoned a bloody hedonism god. Damn thing lives under the Paris catacombs. Communicates telepathically with all people all over the world, urging them to give in to their darkest whims. The French get it the worst, of course. So, these ear shaman take it upon themselves to do the dark deeds so the rest of France doesn't have to. Must be a right giggle.
My last act as shaman before coming here, I took my clothes off, covered myself in lemon cake, green food coloring, and terrorized a local village as a delicious swamp monster. I quite enjoyed that one. Shall we press on with the tour?
Sure. Bye, you guys. So, not to be rude, but judging from the bandaged up arms and the sick eye scar and the terror lines in your hair, I'm getting the impression that security work here is, you know, a little dangerous.
Oh no, not for you. At least the Cult Science Building is probably the safest on campus. Because if something went wrong in this building, we'd all be too dead to notice. Don't listen to her. She's just a little jealous that the new girl gets the cushy gig while she's stuck in the math department.
What happens in the math department?
What doesn't happen in the math department? There's nothing so cold, so unforgiving, so dark as the mathematics. The universe is not but an equation, they shriek. Behind their burnt hair and sludge-tainted cardigans, one that can be solved. But how do you solve the equation of a dozen screaming children being ingested by a black swirling chasm of teeth and clawing hands opened at the far end of the classroom by one of their damnable equations? Damn you, young Henry. Carry that damn too. So let's carry on with the tour. Next up is the library.
Awesome.
Each building has a small library dedicated to researching and documenting the subject that the building's students are studying. Here in the Occult Science Building, we keep an original copy of the Necronomicon, as well as translated copies for our foreign exchange students.
That's a lot of knowledge.
And here's our librarian, Charlotte. Meet Miss Emily Saccharin. Hulu blue.
Hi, I love your mask. I didn't know you guys had a Shoggoth here, and a tame one, too.
Oh, Emily isn't a Shoggoth. She had a small accident with the Necronomicon a while ago. Ended up like this. But our occult scientists learned an awful lot about what happens with these tomes of black knowledge when you spill your soy no whip ice caramel macchiato 2 shots hazel nut on them.
Huh. Sure looks like a Shoggoth. Purple, gooey, moderately adorable with a hint of terrifying.
Well, that's the Necronomicon for you. It's funny. Spilling a non-fat frappuccino with extra whipped cream, turns you into a puddle of loose bones and blood. Still, hasn't stopped Emily from performing her duties. Eh, Emily? Fu Yuju.
Shall we press on? Okay, nice to meet you, Emily.
Charlotte, this is Lizzie Dunwich, our young Satoth consultant. She's taught us quite a lot about the other dimensions during her time here, Lizzie. Charlotte's the new security witch.
Are you the sort of witch that does Naked in the Rain, or sort of witch that does the Lucky Charms and the big hats? The rain. I'm the rain kind.
You and me are gonna get along-ish.
So, like, how come I can't... What are you? I'm a Lizzie. What are you? No, I mean, what... Why do you look like a shadow? Or, like, part of my eyeball has stopped working.
It's 'cause humans can't see. They's all afraidy of me and my sister's appearances. Everything else can see me.
why doggies are all tucked in... That's why doggies all tuck in tails whenever I go near them. Lizzie is an example of a mental phenomenon found only in humans, known as a cerebral voiding. It's a trick by the brain to preserve the sanity of its carrier. When a person comes across sights too horrible to comprehend, their brain refuses to render it. Instead of showing a black silhouette instead showing a black silhouette in place of the sight itself. Essentially, instead of Lizzie's insanity-inducing true form, your brain is protecting you by showing you a shadow instead. But I saw that interviewer no problem. The guy whose face was just teeth and gums, and the girl with the hand sticking out of her head, and Emily the librarian. Yep, Lizzie and her Dunwich sisters are in a league of their own when it comes to horrific appearances. We sent a lot of students to the asylum trying to figure out her own. That is awesome! Yeesh. Here's our head of catering, Mrs. Roth. She can cook anything with 3 or more legs. Yum, hi. Oh, look at you witches, all skin and bones. You just let one of my little gremlins know what fills your tum, and I'll whip it right up. What's the humanitarian dish for today? Day from accounting, my dearest. Oh, pork sandwiches. Lummy, lummy, lum. We employ a small staff of cannibals from England, Eddie in the corporium and Annie being two of them. They only eat flesh, accidental deaths, and with the family's consent. Usually. Ow, I get it. Humanitarian. It's funny. Well, once you're done with Johnny's little tour, let me know and I'll make you breakfast. You're making her into breakfast. Let me have the arse portion. We'll make steak and kidney pie, big ol' witch rump. You ain't eating no rump steak, Annie. Your little horde's got poor old Dave. Oh, come on. At least let me have your ugly feet, eh? Nice and lean, covered in flavor. Entirely useless. Look at them. All the way down there. When I'm done with them. Great. Let me get a little appetizer. A little lick between the toesies. Pre-brunch snacklet. How about it? Don't encourage her, dear. She'll be crawling all over me till your feet fall off. My bad. Speaking of cannibals. Good morning, Miskatonic. It's your favorite morning announcer, Mindy in the Morning, bringing you all the Miskatonic morning announcements as and when I see fit. It's currently 2:30 in the afternoon, so let's get started. Those of you students that have volunteered for the submerged necromantic mutation testing, that has unfortunately been called off by Professor Baxter on the grounds that the school's swimming pool is now alive. Lunch today will be turgid and depressing. And would the owner of a white child please report to the reception office? It's currently being towed. What was that? That's Mindy, the morning announcer. Does she do that a lot? Perpetually. You seem pretty comfortable around this stuff, Charlotte. Ow, I grew up in Maine. Not as many mutated folks, but they make up for it with all the goofy supernatural happenings.
Hey, Johnny. Thirst has been looking for you.
Thanks, Chasm. Come on, Charlotte, I gotta make a quick stop off. What happened to her? Oh, that's Chasm, one of our portal diver team. They usually work out of Dunwich, coming back to write reports on their expeditions. When they come back, of course. So let me make a quick stop and I'll show you to your room.
Ah, Johnny. So this is the strange girl, the crumbler, the ruiner.
Wow, look at this guy. I like how your coat melts into the floor.
Yep, this is her, Charlotte. This is Dr. Thirst Valentine, the head of head of occult science and discoverer of residential evil. His work taught the university about the lingering nature of documenting malicious entities. Essentially, he figured out why seemingly innocuous writings can summon horrific creatures or cast terrible curses. It's why the books bleed.
That's cool. I had a book that kept growing teeth and screaming and whatnot. It was my diary, though.
Excellent. I shall inform my colleagues of your arrival. We will merely indulge in the popcorn. Ta-ta.
I like him.
You know, you've come highly recommended, Charlotte.
Oh yeah? By who?
Charlotte! I can't believe they hired my tiny baby monster.
Roman, what are you doing here?
I got me some gainful employment teaching kids about old school dark magic. None of this occult science in my class. What did they got you teaching?
Oh, you know, I'm in security keeping folks safe. Wandering the halls, swinging a comically large keychain, bopping folks on the head with a flashlight, top secret missions, stuff like that. Pretty on point hiring selection if you ask me.
Yeah, safety. That's definitely a keyword when I think of Charlotte Lestrange and her magic eyeballs.
Hey, those cats turned inside out on their own. I sneezed. Hush your gums.
Well, speaking of cosmic abominations, I gotta go teach a bunch of 18-year-olds how to turn blood into peanut butter by dancing in the rain. You're gonna love it here, Charlotte. The Miskatonic's just one big, like-minded community, all working towards making the world a better place, just like our coven. Come find me when you got some time off.
There was nothing cosmic about them, Roman. They were just cats with their bones on the outside. They got better.
So you two are in the same... So you two are in some kind of cult?
Sort of. We're witches. Sort of. We're witches. Dang it. Sort of. We're witch cultists of Shub-Niggurath. Essentially, we believe that since the universe was filled with crazy, awful bullshit, that humans should be nice and loving to each other. Some of us, like the cult of the Black Sun, have these awesome bake sales for their neighborhoods. Whereas others, like the cult of Loveliness, hunt and slaughter encroaching monsters to protect their hometowns. We're sort of like goth Girl Scouts.
What about your witches? What about you witches?
We take all our clothes off and dance in the ring, typically witchy stuff, but we use black magic to do nice things for the townsfolk. Body snatching, breach birth babies to make them crawl out of their mom summoning fixer pixies when a guy's leg falls off, using transmutation circles as portals for when the trash collectors want a week off. Stuff like that. Wait a minute. The Cult of Black Sun do bake sales? And the Cult of Lowliness are monster hunters? What does the Cult of Kill, Murder, Death plant gardens? What does the Cult of Kill, Murder, Death plant... What does the Cult of Kill, Murder, Death plant gardens of something? Oh, you mean the Cult of Fetid Retribution. No. Those guys deliver meals to old ladies. And what was that about magic eyes? Oh, don't worry about that. I just do this. And sometimes weird stuff happens in people's minds. Usually they forget something or get an eye twitch. Long as I don't use it on little animals, it's pretty harmless. Okay, so let's keep going. This is your room. A little tight, but the lunch ladies bring us security guys breakfast every day. I'll let you get settled, then you can explore your patrol. Your patrol route until Bob gives you your first assignment. It's perfect. Thanks, Johnny. Okay, better go familiarize myself with my patrol route. Hello again, it's time for a quick tutorial, You're about to enter what's called a patrol mode, wherein you're allowed to freely investigate the occult science building. Use your mouse to click characters to initiate conversations or doorways to move to other places in the building. Charlotte's patrol will always start here outside her room. And if you want to save the game, hit the little cog in the bottom right hand of the screen. Or the bottom right of the screen. Give it a try. And don't forget to visit me at the Corporium, Okay. They said a cog. Alright. I should look around, meet some folks, get the lay of the land and all that. I'm gonna be working here for a while. Hello, Spooky. How's your feet? Why the fascination with my feet, Annie? Surely the juiciest stuff for cannibals is like the brain or whatever. Oh, no. Can't eat brains, my lovely. Eating brains gives you the shiggles. Shiggles? What's the shiggles? Shits and giggles, an English disease, makes you shiver and laugh uncontrollably while you lose control of your body, then you die. Had a friend who had it back home, significantly less hilarious than it sounds. That sucks, man. Yep, and now I'm all inconsolable, and the only way to cheer me up is to give me a bite of your giant bum. Damn it, Annie, you almost had me feeling like you weren't a complete ass. You won't need the complete arse. Just half a cheek at most. Okay, that was pretty clever. I'm here all week. Alright. Let's see, who are you? You're the new security girl, right? I'm Nico Day. Archivist of the Occult Science Building. Feel free to tell me your deepest and darkest. Okay, I left school when I was 9 to become a witch and quietly hope that schools don't teach people anything important past that.
Interesting. They do, by the way, quite a bit.
Oh. Well, shit.
Don't listen to him. You can count and spell everything else. Don't listen to him. If you can count and spell, everything else is optional. Roger Cavendish, Chief Medical Officer. And what does that tell you?
You can do more than count and spell, right, Doctor?
Well, a few things. Bring people back from a terrible Baphometic death. Creating vaccines for supernatural diseases. Have you ever seen a prosthetic tentacle?
Don't get him started on his damn prosthetic tentacle. Any more little nuggets of secrecy, Charlotte? Well, here's a fine one. People think that I cock my hips all the time because it's a Shub-Niggurath witch coven thing, when really it's because I'm secretly proud of my butt. It's a good butt. Rest of me sucks, but it's a damn good butt.
On behalf of all cannibals, thank you for sharing it with the world.
You're welcome.
Alright. So we just talked to those two, so I guess we need to talk to you in the middle. Oh, okay, so this is her friend. So, I'm subbing a class for one of the astronomy guys, right? And substituting means it's time to watch a documentary in the lecture hall. And everyone's watching this thing, and it's like the closest star to our solar system is about 4.5 light years away, and you felt lonely. And I'm like, why would you assume that? Why would you assume that about literally every person who watches this thing? I grew up in a coven surrounded by spell-slinging psycho bitches, and now I work in a university. I salivate at the concept of loneliness. I wonder if they say that in nature documentaries too, trying to make weird animals relatable. Hey, yeah, and you thought you sprayed pungent urine at attacking predators. And you thought you had a projectile tongue that was sticky at the end so you could catch cute bugs. And you thought you had a 4-headed penis. What the F is a 4-headed penis? Echidnas. Maybe girl echidnas are the whole eldritch horror kink. Guy echidnas gotta step their game up and turn their peens into horrific nightmares. I have no argument for this. Alright, I guess we're on to the next person. Ah, it's the new security. Annika Silverstein. Alien Theology. Caleb Wakenshaw. Pun enthusiast. Charlotte Lestrange, badass witch cop. So, what happened to the last security guy? Are they sick on retirement adventures? Last I heard, he landed in Aruba. The rest of him landed in Cancun. Yes, quite tragic. Actually, I think I'm going to switch these two, because for some reason I kind of like giving the girls a little bit the deeper voices, because it's easier to do. Plus, I can make them sound more feminine that way. I make the guys sound more crazy if I do a higher voice. Yes, quite tragic. Entire occult science building exploded, leaving only a crater, oddly filled with indentations of the faces of the workers and students who were in there. Who were in there. That was before our time, of course. Since we're alive and whatnot. Huh. But there's, like, protections from that happening again, right? Oh, yeah.
They put a sneeze guard in. Exactly.
Right. Well... Okay. On to you, I suppose.
Did you know before it was completely abandoned, Innsmouth desperately tried to become a tourism town? Tried to focus on aquatic circuses, gift shops, and freak shows featuring leftover deep ones. I happen to be named the most attractive deep one hybrid I happen to be named most attractive deep one hybrid every weekly beauty contest.
Ha! You don't look like a deep one.
That's probably why I keep winning.
Oh. Probably not a good idea to immediately start taking sick naps on my first day on the job. Second day, Nap City.
No, I didn't know that was the direction of the thing. Her room, I mean.
Alright. Well, we started left to right before. Let's start right to left this time.
Fun trick of the black magic users of the old days was to write how to spell books that simply by reading them would cast the curse that the reader was trying to learn on the reader themselves. Fiendish but funny, according to them.
What happened to your eye holes?
How to throw ethereal fire directly into someone's eyes. Luckily, it was just a Cliff Notes version.
Alright. You dudes?
All my classes are at 7 a.m. Got any ideas for a book that'll help me wake up in the morning? You'll want internalized zombification in the necrology aisle. All the benefits of being a zombie without the drawbacks of looking like a corpse. Though your intestines will occasionally fall out of your butthole.
Ha! They must have a book for everything. Though I'd take coffee over scooping intestines back into my butthole, but that's just me.
Alright. Well, middle first.
Hey Emily, do you guys have any books on advanced witchcraft? I need to keep fresh while I'm here.
Hoolulu.
I'll take that as a... Of course, we do, Charlotte. Have you seen the size of this goddamn library? We have books... Oh, we got books that ain't even been written yet.
You.
The Science of Rain Dancing by Professor Anna Undercourage. Huh, guess maybe I'll fit in here. A little better than I thought. I've been doing science all this time. Much like electricity, the human body acts as a conductor of magical energy, intrinsic in the air of regions of high concentration. This effect is exacerbated with wet skin, leading to many witch cultists dancing naked in the rain in order to conjure spells effectively. Indeed, it seems paranormal encounters seem more frequent when it's raining, or in regions of the world where rain is frequent. The witch cultists of Seattle and Scotland are considered incredibly powerful and fearsome, though this is simply due to their geographical advantage. Were they to be taken away from their home deluges, they would be simply as effective as their new weather permits them to be. Haha, sick burn. Allo Wobbly, what you reading? Nothing but some stuff about witches. You wouldn't get it. Nah, probably not. That stuff's too cool. And magical for a dumb old cannibal like Annie. No place for an ugly old purple blood like poor old dumb old cannibal Annie. Poor dumb Annie. Well, hey, come on. I didn't mean it like that. Hey, next time it rains, I could teach you a few tricks. How about it? Get you a pet frog, give it a couple of extra eyes. What do you say? That sounds fun, but can I make a suggestion? Sure, I guess. Rather than rain, can we dance around in buffalo sauce? I think I want a little zing when I bite your bum. Damn it, Annie, why don't you go bug somewhere else?
'Cause you're the only one that finds it funny. There's a difference between laughing at someone
because it's funny and laughing at someone because it's ridiculous. Most folks run away.
I'm losing track of voices. Most folks run away from folks like me. They seem to take threats of being devoured quite seriously.
And there's nothing I'd like more than watching you run away, Charlotte.
Oh, you beat me to it.
Yeah, see you around, Annie.
Alright, we started in the middle, let's go to the right. No, we started on the right, and this time we'll start on the left. So, what's with the puppets? We help her talk with unfamiliar people on unfamiliar subjects. One must become more familiar with us in order to become more familiar with her. It's been a little too long in the psychology department, huh? I've heard research and all them dark psychiatrics can rub off on people. And you've spent a little too long in engineering to not know when someone's pulling your leg.
Huh. So working and studying in certain buildings has a residual effect. I wonder what effect working in the occult science building has on witches. I hope I don't start taking a chalkboard to my coven's dance rituals. No one wants to know the angle of rotation on one of my sick free-balling pirouettes. Alright. Hey, Lizzie, what you got there?
Grilly cheese is the best human invention. Everyone says so.
Everyone? Like, everyone in the university?
Everyone in this dimension. The Migo, the Yithians, the Starspawn, the Thonians. When someone makes one for them, the homeworld elder things, even Yog Sothoth, likes one now and again.
Really? Not like the internal combustion engine? Not penicillin? The telephone? Light bulbs? Eyeglasses? Great big trains? Microscopes?
Nah, we don't need any of that.
So, humanity, for all its achievements, all the love and loss, all the wars, all the technology, and innovation, all the art and culture, everything we've done, and we're considered by the rest of the universe as those guys that make a mean grilled cheese. I don't know how to feel about that. Better than nothing, I guess.
Studying at the Miskatonic is a huge opportunity. There are so few monster hunters in my hometown. I think my job prospects in the future are pretty bright. It does come with a few drawbacks, though. You're not likely to finish your studies exactly the same species as you started.
Well, hey, at the very worst, I'm pretty sure this place could always use more freaky-ass teachers.
So, middle looks like it goes outside, so let's go to the right this time. Alright. So, what do you reckon they're doing in there? Poking and prodding, same as always. Eventually they'll get bored and we'll be tasked with carting off the husk. If you told tiny child Albert that in the future carrying corpses would be considered the easiest part of his day, he'd pitch a fit.
I'd have thought the part between carrying the body to the corporium and carrying it away would be the easiest part. Though, I guess hanging out in this spooky-ass hallway can be a little exhausting, too.
Just a small word of advice to the biology department. You can't just stick a dog and a war veteran into a centrifuge and rejigger the mush into a living being. And everyone, say hello to the world's very first werewolf. There's clearly a reason I'm not down there with you guys. Aside from, you know, the carnage it would cause.
Did you guys hear that? A damn werewolf. You guys want to check it out?
We're not done here, Mike. We gotta get the incinerators going before we can knock off. Connor's right. First we burn whatever nightmare the corporium's working on, then we go gawk at whatever nightmare the biology department's working on. They got their own burners, after all.
I always thought you had to get it. I always thought you had to get bit by a werewolf to become a werewolf. Then again, why would any werewolf stop at one bite and not just eat whatever it was biting? Maybe that's why we don't have zombie plagues anymore.
All right. We'll continue down the right, but I want to go outside.
Nothing out there for me. My jurisdiction's right here. Although patrolling the whole university would probably be good for the old leg muscles. Getting toughened up in case of any sick monster attacks.
Can't stand lead steak myself. Much prefer a pressed ham.
Stop trying to make me laugh, Annie. It ain't gonna work.
Alright. We can't go that way, so I'm pretty sure we came from that way, so we're gonna go... Wait, so that's there. What's in the middle?
Oh man. Look at this sick, awesome thing.
That tough stuff is a colony... Oh. That tough stuff is a colony of cuttleworms, complete with the bloody spinal cord of their human host. They like to lay their eggs in city water pipes, and once consumed, they attach to the spinal columns of their hosts, eventually controlling their every move. Sort of like zombies, except, you know, a lot more screaming and begging for death. Very interesting species.
That's deceptively adorable. That's a deceptively adorable name for the worst thing ever.
I bet the boy is a tenor that I could yank the spine out of this poor sod's mouth. Turns out the worms form a rock-solid grip on the host's brain while they're piloting him. Fingers here is gonna give him a prod, see if she can get him to let go of the bugger's melon meat. Ugh. Oh, here we go.
Excuse me? I just had a dark thought encouraging that I slit my wrists. Take off your trousers and play with your bum like the bloody bongos.
Probably better to use spare blood, C'est la vie.
Aw, big strong man helping out little lady's sadistic madness. Cute.
Okay, after all that, if we go back in here, am I gonna have to edit this out? Okay.
Nothing particularly important. Same thing.
Essentially, you just need to maintain your resources, spending them on village and stat upgrades, but village upgrades give passive benefits to both villages, so you need to be careful that you're not helping the other team and their village.
See, that's where I went wrong with my first game after I constructed our bleeding pit. The other village gained enough population resource to spend their building and foraging processes. What the shit are they talking about?
So, after you've drawn from the encounter deck, if what you draw is a monster, pick from the monster deck. Then you can choose to fight or flee. If you fight, compare your player card's ferocity stat with the monster's, and add a d6 to both stats to determine whether you win or lose. If you want to flee, it's the same process with the liquidity stat. Once you've returned to the village board, you can add your successful foraging tokens to the village's stockpile. Whatever team successfully builds their village first wins, or whatever team's village runs out of food, materials, or population resources loses. And do I have to go by my in-game name too? Couldn't hurt.
They must be talking about some sort of board game. Never played one before. Not many places to put the board when you're off dancing in the woods with nothing but a smile on. And nowhere to keep the pieces.
What's unique about our planet is that all the plants and animals share a universal language, or a sort of collective consciousness, guiding things like migratory patterns, blooming seasons, what is predator and what is prey, things like that. It also acts as a conduit of the emotions of organic life. A flower is plucked, the garden screams. A cow is slaughtered, the whole herd weeps. Humans seem to have lost this ability over the last 100,000 years, and few can hear it go mad with the knowledge of it. Oh, and those few that can hear it go mad with the knowledge of it. Just so you know, the planet is very upset with you humans. Guess I better go apologize to my bagel.
Oh man, I hope that ain't true. As a witch cultist of a love goddess, I should probably be spreading the love to everything, not just humans. And I've eaten a whole lot of burgers. Alright, to the right we go. Oh. Looks like we're pretty darn close to the other area. Guessing somebody else's dorm, I mean. Do those wormy things act as your arms? That's pretty groovy.
Yep, the thing to remember about all of these occult shenanigans is that most of these monsters are just really ugly animals, and animals can be trained.
Cool. How'd you train them?
Traditional combination of treats and mild punishment. As a treat, I let them keep my arms. As a punishment, I headbutted the shit out of them. Now they never leave Mommy's side. Don't even have to command them for the easy stuff.
What counts as easy stuff when floating worms try it? When floating worms when training floating worms to act as replacement arms.
Oh, you know, cooking, cleaning, getting changed, all the essentials. You should see me play the trombone.
Okay.
There are several benefits to having every internal organ replaced by half-sentient liquid slurry. For example, you wouldn't believe how much of your brain is dedicated to simply maintaining the automatic processes of your body. With the slime, my brain is now free to fully ponder the questions of the universe. Well, I gotta admit, you're putting a good spin on this. Still, having to carry a handkerchief around to mop the incorrigible sludge out of my eyes sockets is a drawback. Forget hygiene. You're at the Miskatonic. If you're only trailing black slime, you're practically cleaning the place up.
Nothing gets an occult scientist down, I guess. Though, wouldn't his brain also be replaced by the goo?
Okay. Who are you? The geology building has probably the least dangerous lessons on campus, but also has the highest security. Can't have the public figure out where the plateau of Ling is, or worse. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Why not?
You know how some people can't help get close as they can to, get as close as they can to the scene of a car crash. Imagine that car crash being a centralized supernatural apocalypse based in the Pacific Ocean. Folks would climb over each other just to check it out.
Yeah, I guess. I bet it looks pretty radical.
Alright, now Tentacle Lady.
Sal, what's with folks changing their names for that board game people are talking about?
It's to make the
It's to make the consequences of the game seem more real.
A lot of people need an escape from work or studies, and the game's a good way to do that.
Huh. You think I could play with you guys when I got some time off or whatever?
Depends what's your in-game name gonna be.
Huh. The rest powerful, badass barbarian saving sick wenchies or whatever. Huh. Nope. Bye.
Better than everyone else's dumbass names. Whatever. I'd want to play a game where Thrust Powerful, the Badass Barbarian sounds non-canon anyway. Good afternoon, Charlotte. Are you ready for your first assignment?
Sure. Lay it on me.
Excellent. The Miskatonic has small research outposts located all over the world, dedicated to collecting and relaying occult data back to the University via radio. One such outpost is in New Orleans, where you'll be going.
Okay, what happened in New Orleans?
We're not sure. Our researcher is supposed to relay daily radio messages back to us, but hasn't checked in for several days. Your task is to go to the outpost and knock on the door. If he's there, ask why he hasn't been relaying data. If he's not, return and tell us.
That's it? Knock on the door?
Exactly. Under no circumstances are you to enter the outpost. Just knock. And leave.
Okay, so how do I get there?
After a few disasters, the government demanded that the Miskatonic's experiments be completely sealed off from the outside world. As a result, every outpost in the country is interconnected by these tunnels. Help stop transporting creatures running off into the wilderness. See?
Spooky. So I'm walking to New Orleans?
Oh no, of course not. You'll have a driver.
Hi. Oh, hey, Lizzie. Looks like driving down the spooky-ass tunnel system. Looks like driving down the spooky-ass tunnel system together. Yish! New Orleans is not too far in straight lines. Should get there lickety-split. Have fun, you two, and remember, don't go into the outposts. Okay, see you later, Johnny. Guess this is the place. Huh, that's weird. The door's open. So, well, the mission's to knock on the door, see if anyone's in, then leave. If the door's open, something bad might have happened. Like what? I don't know. Could be anything. Maybe they're out of banana bread. Maybe someone's pregnant and they've gone to get a doctor. Maybe Cthulhu cultists have invaded to have a sick hoedown. Maybe they're pregnant with a Cthulhu cultist's banana bread baby. We should check it out. It's supposed to be supposed to be authorized to go into outposts, Dunwitchers, and witches are for knocking on doors, not poking around outposts. Come on, we'll be, showing initiative. They'll be like, wow, Lizzie and Charlotte, you sure saved the day poking around that outpost. Good thing you did all those chupacabras, or all those chupacabras would have got back to home base and ate all of us. I don't think that's what they'll say. Well, I'm gonna take a look anyway. Feel free to join me if you wanna save the university from chupacabras. I guess it'll be okay if we just look. I don't know about this. Ooh, fear the goo. What's this do? Huh? Fear the goo? Written in goo. What goo should I be fearing? Should I fear the goo the fear the goo sign is written in? Maybe it's peanut butter. Humans are all lethargic, right? Only the ones who hate deliciousness. Nope. I think it's a warning about the same goo it's written in. Can't be that dangerous then, if the Warner preferred using it over, a pen. Maybe he has no pen. Maybe his pen is goo. Maybe that's why he's so fraidy. Because of pen goo. Guess there's only one way to find out. Let's keep going. Oh boy. Hey, can we go back one? Nope. So literally we have to investigate 1 point. Well, I guess we could talk to Lizzie for a second. I better sweep this whole room before we move on. That's the detective thing to do. Okay, so she's not actually talking to her. The goo room. That's a lot of goo. Oh, same thing. So they don't let me move around freely here. I just had to press the actual point. Can I? What does she do? Oh, same thing. Alright. Locked door it is then. Ha! Shitballs. The door's locked. So, there might be goodies inside. Eldritch goodies. Look, it says here, extraction facility. This must be where they're getting the goo. We gotta get in there. Why? Because if someone tells me to fear something, I like to know exactly where that something comes from and how to punch whatever made it in the head. Whoop some ass. Besides, it sounds exactly like something that the hottest new occult detective team in New Orleans would do, right? Solving some sick mysteries. Okay. I think you're fucking stupid, but okay. Well, honestly, I'm pretty sure I've been recording for over an hour now. I'm going to leave this episode of the Miskatonic here. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more. I could use more subscribers to this new channel, and I will be back with another one real soon. Have a nice day, y'all.